yards, I run it back. Hey, I cop a car, I run it back. Yeah. Go on your then run it back. Run it back, run it back, run it back.
Big numbers, 100-minute bag, that's a big number. Big numbers, whole team counted, that's a big number.
Hey, foreign cars, foreign seats with the foreign leather. Foreign number, put the card in the ATM in the sad era. Yeah, flex mode, this ain't Southwest, this is jet. I ain't gotta shut the cell off, cause the iPhone don't got a jet mode. Bad pesto. If you wanna come, let's go. We ain't going nowhere special. I just wanna see Modesto. Hit your thought, I'ma catch those.
Two veteran quarterbacks looking for a return to the playoffs. It's The Coach. This is week 1 of the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, two teams who stayed home for the playoffs last year start 2019 with high hopes. We'll see Matt Ryan of the Atlanta Falcons taking on Kirk Cousins and the Minnesota Vikings. I'll be back at halftime with a look at games in progress. But first, we get up to Minneapolis. Standing by our guys in the booth, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, a very warm day outside by Minnesota standards, but then again, it is still summer. Either way, the AC is working just fine at U.S. Bank Stadium in the Twin Cities. It can certainly get loud inside this building. And just a few moments ago when the Vikings were introduced, it was downright shaking in here. They're set for football as the Vikings get ready to do battle with the Atlanta Falcons. So happy to be with you, Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis. And we thought it would never get here, but here we are back together. It's opening weekend of the 100th season in the NFL.
So much football to talk about. That's our main focus. But how about how much happened in the offseason? Rules changes. Overtime rules were discussed in a big way. Some superstars changed addresses. There's a whole lot to talk about in the NFL in addition to this game we're getting ready to watch.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Vikings heading out, and it's Kirk Cousins at the helm in his second season in purple and white, 8th year overall. 30 touchdown passes for him a season ago. That's a career high as he aims to get the Vikings back into the postseason.
Mike. Mike. Watch the pass. Watch the pass. Here we go. Here we go.
Cousins now to throw on first down. And his first pass is incomplete. Let's take a look here at the offense from Minnesota.
And running back Dalvin Cook was drafted in 2017 to be the lead runner for the Vikings, and he should love what they're putting in for him in 2019. This is a run-first, run-heavy offense as dictated by their head coach. Dalvin Cook should get more than enough carries to threaten 1,000 yards rushing this season.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Here's Dalvin Cook, 3rd year back from Florida State. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Little trouble thus far on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and 11. From the gun, here's Cousins. And he's got Kyle Rudolph. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Cousins to his tight end Rudolph for a Viking. First down.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 38-yard line.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. That one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
On 2nd and 11 now. Cousins, throw complete to the tight end Morgan. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. And here now the defensive starters for Atlanta.
Landon Collins is built like your typical tackle-first safety, but he does have the ability to play the deep part of the field.
And for the Falcons, 5 men in the secondary, now on 3rd.
Oh, yeah, I'm coming.
From the shotgun, it's Cousins. And Cook has it, left side. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved. Just as you said, they want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
2 first downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10. Looking for Diggs, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. The 20. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Falcon defense has a touchdown. And the defense could not have written a much better script than that. First drive, pick 6.
The offense never got a chance to really get oiled up there, did they? But the defense, they certainly got in gear. What a big-time play and a great way for them to start.
And now the offense, they've got to turn things around and figure this out because your backs are on the ground real quickly.
Yeah, usually when you're starting the game getting the ball, 0-0 is the only score you're worried about. Now the second time you get it, you're already down a touchdown.
A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. They had the auspicious beginning to the season, a first drive turnover. Now they'll try again here, 1st and 10. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They start the drive with Cook. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
I remember the first time I saw Dalvin Cook play in college. I was watching him on TV, called a scouting friend of mine and said, "Who is this guy? He's special." And he said, "Dude, you're watching a home run hitter on the field."
Yeah, he was special in Tallahassee. Left Florida State their all-time leader in rushing yards and touchdowns. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. They go play action. Cousins. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Working out of the gun, Cousins. Yeah, that one's going to be knocked away and incomplete. The Alabama man, Dre Kirkpatrick, there on the coverage.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
So on 4th down, they break. On the Michigan man, Matt Wild, to kick it away as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. So here come the Falcons now to get the football for the first time. They'll be led by a former national champion at Alabama. It's A.J. McCarron.
One thing I don't think you ever have to worry about when A.J. McCarron gets an opportunity is confidence and belief in self. He has it in full measure, and he utilizes it very well, carrying it out onto the field and leading his team.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now a first-time 1,000-yard rusher from a season ago. It's Derrick Henry. Touchdown, Falcons. Derrick Henry, 68 yards. And the Falcons are able to show off their quick strike ability. Early on, they have all facets of the game working in tandem.
Yeah, you give the defensive touchdown early to give you the first score, and then your offense piggybacks on top of that and gets their own. And any coach we've ever talked to, and we've had that conversation with them prior to the game, they always say, you know, if we can score on defense or special teams, that gives us like a 95% chance of winning the game. I don't know if that number's correct, but it certainly does tend to play out that way, doesn't it?
It does. Here's Bryant for the extra point. And it's good to make it 14-0. So they hit pay dirt on just one play. The long run, the scamper, and a very nice scamper into the end zone for the touchdown. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And out now come the Vikings. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
I have to admit, I'm excited by that play call and the end result, because this is a team that's down big early in the first quarter, and a lot of teams will just panic, abandon the playbook, and just start firing the ball all over the place. It's way too early for that. Stick to what works for you.
Down double digits, and we talked about their game plan being both running and passing there. You're right. They're sticking to the game plan, getting the ground game going.
A lot of football left to be played.
On 1st and 10, Cousins. It's complete to Laquan Treadwell. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. And the defense not able to get it. From a defensive perspective, what's that moment like when you realize the ball is loose?
It is a moment where all concentration goes right to the football. This is something you've talked about in all your preparation for the game. And you probably talked about since training camp. Knock the ball free, take it away from the other team, and now you have that chance. There's a little bit of deflation when they end up recovering it.
They knocked it free, but couldn't take it away. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Throwing, Cousins. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. It'll be a gain of 6, and it'll make it a 2nd down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Here's Cousins. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
The Vikings on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. The Vikings first down. Diggs able to find his way free and get the catch from Cousins.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting